DJ Storms, and in less than a week, live on the USA Network and Peacock, we will see not one, but two nights of TakeOver presented by the Black and Gold brand, in which we will see two men look to legitimately climb the ladder of success to unify the NXT Cruiserweight Championships. Also, we will see a man hell-bent on emotion facing off against a proud prince for the world crown of NXT. And in the main event of night two, two men closer than brothers will face off, in which the Black and Gold brand will not be held responsible for anything that is done between those two men, as the match will be contested under unsanctioned rules. But before it is time to climb the ladder of success, before it is time to throw the rule book out the window, before it is time for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, it's time for the rundown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another video right here on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind, this is the official rundown for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, which of course, like I said, streaming live on the USA Network for night one and on Peacock for night two. And today is the greatest day in the history of history for two reasons. Number one, being that it is time for the rundown for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, and being that 22 years ago to this very day, Good Friday on 1999, your boy was welcomed into this world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for spending my birthday with me right here on YouTube.com. And as of course, here for the rundown, I am not alone. Back after an 8-month hiatus. My God, it has been so damn long, but I am very, very proud to welcome this man back to the channel once again. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a fellow content creator. He just reached 7,000 subscribers, a lifelong wrestling fan, and OG DJ Storms Posse member. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome back to the channel once again, TM161. Let me hear it, brother.
Yes, sir. That's Jay Jimmy. Yes, I am back on the channel. And of course, I got first and foremost, happy birthday to you, my brother. First and foremost. And we are going to talk some NXT Stand and Deliver. Let's get it popping, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much for coming back. I greatly appreciate it. I've been wanting to do a collaboration with you again for a long, long time, but hey, we never got around to it, but I'm very, very happy for you to join me here on my birthday, talking NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Very, very happy to have you back.
Special day.
Damn right, baby. It's a special day for many, many reasons, and we're going to get down and dirty. We got 10 matches. That's right, 10 matches to dissect. And first and foremost, before we get into anything, of course, we need to get through some self-brand promotion and advertisements. Mr. TM161, where can we find you on social media?
Okay, well, so on Twitter, you can just type in search bar TM161. You'll easily see me with the straw hat and the goofy-ass smile. That would be me. And if you want to follow me on my Instagram, that is Naruto161. Repeat that for you one more time. That is Naruto161.
And of course, do not forget to subscribe to him on YouTube. He is on the way to 10,000 subscribers. So hopefully we can, yeah, absolutely. We want to get him to 10,000. He is a hard worker. He's been doing the work. He's been putting in that work in the community for a long, long time. So we want to get TM161 to 10,000 subscribers. All of his links are in the description. If you don't already know, please go check them out after the video is over. Now, if you don't already know, you guys, if you haven't already done so, please follow me on the Twitter sticks at HistoryMaker DJS. You'll find out why I am the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. Follow me on Instagram at TheDJStorms. Add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page, and I made you send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms posse group on Facebook, in which TM is an OG member of. We are over 100 members. That's right.
Make sure y'all tweet happy birthday to you.
Damn right, damn right.
Damn right, bro.
Now, if you haven't already done so, I don't really know what you're doing because we're over 6 minutes into the video. If you haven't liked the video, I really don't know what the problem is because we got a little protocol here on the channel. When you come in, you scroll down with your mouse, you know, a little scroll, and click that like button. You already know. You got to click that like button because we got goals we want to reach. Now, last time, I believe we got over 60 likes on the last collaboration that me and TM did. So here's the goal right now. The goal is to reach 70 likes this time. Because me and TM, you already know, me and TM, we're always coming in clutch. We came in clutch the last time for the rundown for NXT TakeOver 30. We're going to come in clutch this time with the rundown for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. 70 likes is the goal, ladies and gentlemen. So get cracking, get popping on that.
70 likes, my God. Let's hit it. Let's get that goal pop.
But in order for everyone to do that, in order for the goal to be reached, everyone needs to do their part. And I mean, when you hit the like button, you got to make sure that after you do so, you share out the stream on all platforms of social media, whether it be Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest or Tumblr. That way everyone is notified that DJ Storms and TM are on YouTube.com with the hottest new video. And I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your cousins, your first cousins, your third cousins, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, your seventh, your dogs, your cats, and especially, this is the most vital piece of information right here, especially your guinea pigs, because I'm telling you right now, if you haven't already noticed, I have read article after article after article that says if guinea pigs are exposed to DJ Storms, they are said to live long, happy, healthy, fruitful lives. And I've also read a little article that when they get a little dash of TM161, their hearts are actually even healthier. So if you got a guinea pig and you want this guinea pig to be as healthy and happy as possible, please notify the guinea pig that DJ Storms and TM161 are on YouTube with the hottest new video. It ain't that hard, people. Of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button as I am looking to gain more subscribers. I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what YouTube's doing. It's ridiculous, but regardless, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is vital that you do so. And of course, when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combo, this beautiful mustache. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Do I have it? I mean, is there any question that I have it?
Yeah, you already know, bro. Give me something for the ladies, bro. You already know what time it is, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. You already know. Anyway, enough of these self-brand promotion and the advertisements. We're going to get straight into the matches here on TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Everyone's probably looking at me like, you're 10 minutes into the fucking video, DJ. Just do the matches. I'm getting there. We're getting there. All right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to hand the ball over to you first. And I actually want to talk to you about the overall build. And I want to talk to you about the two-night format. Now,
I'm glad you brought that up.
yes, because my initial thoughts were this. Number one, I was not expecting them to do a takeover before WrestleMania, considering that WrestleMania was a 2-night event. Matter of fact, I wish that they didn't, because, to be quite honest with you, the takeover format is a picture-perfect format for a wrestling show. Just the right amount of matches, 5 to 6 matches. Each match gets ample amount of time to tell the proper story. Each match has the proper build. Each match has someone that you care about. Each match has a proper story to be told throughout the course of 6, 7, 8 weeks. And I was actually expecting the next TakeOver to be in May, but they ended up doing this TakeOver as a 2-night event before WrestleMania. Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand why a 2-night TakeOver is needed. And I'm not saying that the show's going to be bad, because you take a look at these matches, you take a look at all of the matches on TakeOver, and all the matches have the potential to be better than WrestleMania as a whole. Like, literally, I could watch Pete Dunne and Kushida wrestle for the entire fucking show, and it would be better than anything that we'd see on WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong, but you take a look at half of these matches, and half of these matches shouldn't even be happening because of the fact that they haven't had enough time to actually generate some story, or the fact that they have two people that are not really intertwined with each other. And these matches, some of these matches are just thrown out there just for the sake of getting matches on the show to fill out a 2-night takeover. 5 matches on each show. And on top of that, I don't understand, if NXT was going to move to Tuesdays, like they recently just announced, they're moving to Tuesdays after WrestleMania on April 13th. I don't understand why they couldn't have moved some stuff around. They couldn't have pulled some strings, and they couldn't have had the debut episode of NXT on Tuesdays take place before WrestleMania, and you just build that show up as a special show, and then you have the first takeover after WrestleMania with NXT on Tuesdays in May. That way you have a long-winded period to build towards that takeover, and you could make NXT on Tuesdays feel special. You have a nice 4-match lineup, 2 hours of a show, and that could essentially be a special show for WrestleMania week. They didn't need to do a 2-night takeover, if you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying, bro. And you know what's crazy? I was just about to say that when you brought the fact that it could have been at least on Tuesday. That was one of the things I was about to say, bro, because you know what? There's a whole 2-day thing. It just pinlines of exactly what we already know about how the leak of Vince McMahon has already reached NXT. We already seeing it now with the way they produce some of the matches, right? So you see how this build, and supposed to be one of the biggest pay-per-views of the whole entire NXT, and for some reason it do not feel that way. I don't understand the whole purpose of NXT being 2 nights. That's where the whole Vince thing come in.
Yeah, you see,
it easily has some of these matches, like you just mentioned, bro. It has some of these matches already on NXT and got over with. For example, Kushida and Pete Dunne. Love them both. Definitely 2 great wrestlers. But this is a match that could have just easily been on NXT. You could have also had matches like, let me see my list right here. We got, you know what I'm saying, Ciampa and Walter. That was just random as Kushida and Pete Dunne. You really think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you right there because, like, don't get me wrong. Those are takeover-worthy matches. Those are. Those belong on a takeover, but where's the build?
There's no build at all, bro. I don't get it. Like, it's crazy. And then what makes me even more angry, though, is Gargano's build.
Exactly. We're going to talk about that. Trust me, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Like, I don't even go into detail about that, but that irks me more than anything because how you going to build the North American title up as it was just well built up even before, I ain't going to talk about Leon Ruff winning it, even before that moment when he won the championship, I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, this is exactly why NXT is going down the radar, bro, and I just hate it.
Dude, let me tell you something.
One thing that we had, that was the one show that we had outside of SmackDown. I ain't gonna mention Raw in this case, not at all. But that was the one safe show that we often just go to on, well, now Tuesdays, and just be like, this is wrestling, you know?
I feel you, dude. I feel you. And here's the thing. I was actually saying at the beginning of the year that NXT was starting to get back on the right track, because for the first month and a half of 2021, they were doing some really good shit with the build heading towards TakeOver Vengeance Day. TakeOver Vengeance Day was fucking excellent. TakeOver Vengeance Day was probably the best pay-per-view of the year so far for all of pro wrestling. That was an excellent show. There was not one negative aspect about that show. It wasn't a perfect show, but it was an excellent wrestling show. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. But the problem now is, ever since TakeOver Vengeance Day ended, it's like they just went into a limbo stage, and then all of a sudden the main roster influence started to rear its ugly head again. So now I just can't give NXT the benefit of the doubt. I just can't. And you can definitely tell that the influence of Vince McMahon is still lingering, which sucks. It absolutely sucks. We got a fucking gauntlet eliminator, which we'll talk about, that doesn't even make any sense.
Nope.
So, the first match that we're going to get into here on night one is MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma. This is a triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And, truth be told, this match shouldn't even be happening. This match shouldn't even be happening, and I have a feeling that it was going to be Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch defending the titles against MSK and the Grizzled Young Veterans, but we already know what happened there, and that unnecessary fucking NXT title match between Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch that didn't need to happen, which caused Burch to hurt himself. That should have never happened, and what should have happened is, if you wanted to, you could have done this triple threat match with the Grizzled Young Veterans, MSK, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch, and then you could have had Grizzled Young Veterans win the titles and MSK chasing the titles, or they could have just done MSK versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch straight up and have MSK win the titles. I truth be told, this matchup was very poorly booked and very lazily made, if you know what I mean. And this is
I know exactly what you mean, bro.
yeah, this is the negative aspect of having a takeover this quickly and having it before WrestleMania, an unnecessary takeover before WrestleMania. What you could have done is you could have done the 4-match format on NXT for Tuesday nights before WrestleMania. It could have been Balor Cross, O'Reilly Cole, Raquel and Io, and then the Cruiserweight title unification ladder match. Those 4 matches on NXT Tuesday on April 6th. And then you could have had a takeover in May, and you could have done qualifying matches for a triple threat tag team match for the vacated NXT tag team titles, because you got enough teams in there. You got Ciampa Thatcher, you got The Way with Gargano Theory, MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, Legado del Fantasma in there. So you could have actually done some sort of mini tournament, quote unquote. It didn't need to be an actual tournament, considering you just had the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, but it actually could have been something that would have given the weekly shows a sense of urgency. It would actually have given the weekly shows some sense of intrigue. Oh, who's going to qualify for the triple threat tag team match at TakeOver to gain the vacated NXT tag team titles? Lorcan and Burch should still be the champions, but they did that terribly booked tag team title match, again, which should not have even happened, and now you're stuck with this. And I understand why MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans are there, but why are Legado del Fantasma there? Just because they beat Grizzled Young Veterans in a 1-minute enhancement match? I don't really get that. And this is the main roster booking that we've been talking about. I just really don't like the way how they've handled everything. It's so many things could have been avoided. So many things could have been avoided. So many negative aspects about this entire match could have been avoided. So there's a lot of negative to go into this, but I'm not going to take away from what these 3 teams are going to do. I think these 3 teams are going to tear the house down. I think MSK, GYV, and Legado del Fantasma are going to put on an excellent fucking match. And if I'm going to pick a winner here, I would truthfully go with the Grizzled Young Veterans, simply because of the fact that I do believe that the story is with MSK chasing the tag team titles. I feel as though they're the Johnny Gargano team, the classic babyface Johnny Gargano team of NXT. And I feel as though Grizzled Young Veterans, they could do some good work with the NXT Tag Team titles. You have them win the titles, and then they can hold the titles for a solid 5-6 months. And then probably at the TakeOver in October, or maybe the SummerSlam TakeOver, whichever way they decide to go, I can see MSK winning the titles then. I don't necessarily believe that they're going to give MSK the titles here. Maybe they could. And they could have them pin Legado del Fantasma, and then you can go into a program with Grizzled Young Veterans with GYV winning the titles. But either way, MSK and the Grizzled Young Veterans, those two teams are going to be the next two NXT Tag Team Champions, whether it be with GYV winning it first or MSK winning it first. But if I'm going to pick a winner here, I'm going to go with Grizzled Young Veterans. And if I am going to pick a first feud for the Grizzled Young Veterans, I would probably say that they could probably go into a feud with, I don't know, maybe they go into a feud with Legado del Fantasma. Even though it's heel versus heel, you can absolutely get a great match out of those two teams. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. But Grizzled Young Veterans, Grizzled Young Veterans are my pick to win this match, and they will become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Floor is yours.
Bro, let me just say right now, it's only one big positive about this whole entire thing that I'm going to say, and I think you just mentioned it already. The match is going to be great. There's no denying about the match going to be great. But it's so much negativity. I mean, where do I even begin? First and foremost, I'm feeling like right now at this stage of the game, at least I know how I feel at least. I feel like right now nobody, I know I'm not, is invested in the tag team division, because you really think about it, outside of MSK, who else are we invested in? Phantasma's team, like you just said it, they just won a 1-minute match with the Young Veterans. And speaking of the Young Veterans, I don't think nobody's interested in them. It's like it's not a lot of teams that for us, like Breezango, it's a lot of tag teams in NXT that we're just not engaging with. But outside of MSK, I feel like at least that is the only team on NXT that I feel like everybody right now that's loves right now. So obviously they're the favorites to win the match. Then you got Phantasma in there for whatever reason that I still can't think of, but they will enhance the match, of course. And then you got the Grizzled Young Veterans. We saw what happened with them as far as the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic. They came out short once again for the second straight year. They lost to MSK, and now it seems like you already mentioned it, bro, for me. This is the perfect opportunity to make us care about another tag team. We all want MSK to win the tag team titles. But what if the Grizzled Young Veteran just swoop in when MSK about to win the tag team gold, and then we're all sitting there saying, oh shit, now we got this team that whoever they are or whatnot are the tag team champions. We want MSK, right? So it's the perfect booking to have the Grizzled Young Veterans to win this match, of course. But we already mentioned this too. This is the Vince era of NXT. So the obvious choice is going to be MSK. So because of that, I feel like they're going to go with the obvious, not even giving us a great booking. I'm just going to go with the obvious choice here, MSK, even though I feel like Young Veterans should win, and then we get MSK chasing the championships, because who don't love a good babyface or babyface team chasing gold? So I'm going with MSK here to win the tag team championships, and then we probably going to get Young Veterans chasing them. Probably some other teams as well, like Breezango, probably a mixture of all those teams, and like mixed 4 ways and 3 ways with no engagement to either team. And then that's how it's going to be from here on out, bro, because I just don't see NXT booking other teams to get over outside of MSK right now.
Well, to be quite honest with you, they actually had some tag team engagement with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Like, tag team wrestling was a priority throughout the first month and a half of 2021. And I understand what you're saying with the quote-unquote Vince era, but I don't feel as though we have to worry about that, because I don't think Vince has ever had an influence over a TakeOver. I think his main influence is over NXT on USA Network, the weekly shows. And considering that this is a pretty big takeover, probably the biggest takeover ever, or on paper at least, it's the biggest takeover ever. I do believe that they are going to give the titles to the Grizzled Young Veterans just based on how they've been booked and how everything is lined up. But you're right, dude. There is, like, legitimately no investment in the NXT Tag Team division. They had it after TakeOver Vengeance Day with MSK winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and then they just fucking dropped the ball, especially after Birch went down with an injury. But you got MSK. I'm going to go with the Grizzled Young Veterans.
I know that was... And let me mention this, bro. Danny Burch and Only Logan, that was just tragic, bro. Because I've been wanting them to win the Tag Team Championship for so long. They finally got that chance, and look what happened.
Tell me about it. They held it for a decent amount of time, but, man, they didn't do anything with those titles.
Nothing at all. It's sad to see, because both of those men, I always say about both men, they are very hard workers. Very hard workers. You see them put guys, a lot of guys over one-on-one matches, just enhancing other dudes. They've been great at that. And finally get that moment, boom, ended.
So then we go to Tommaso Ciampa versus Walter. This is for the NXT United Kingdom Championship, and this is one of the matches that I've been talking about that really doesn't belong on this takeover, and here's what I mean by that. This is a takeover-worthy match. It's absolutely a takeover-worthy match. Walter, probably the best big man in pro wrestling right now. Tommaso Ciampa, one of the greatest, if not the greatest NXT superstar of all time. United Kingdom Championship, Walter's made that title prestigious. He's made that title feel important. Walter has been the man in NXT UK for 2 years now. But where's the build? Where's the build? Where's the story? And what has Tommaso Ciampa done to deserve an NXT UK title opportunity? Tommaso Ciampa has probably been the most inconsistently booked individual in all of NXT ever since the year began. He wins a match, then he loses a match. He wins a match, then he loses a match. The man has no momentum. He's just in a stationary position. If he would have been on a 5, 6, 7 match winning streak, then yeah, I would say, okay, he deserves a title opportunity. But they only had about 3 weeks to actually make people care. And no one really cares about this match other than the fact that, oh, it's Ciampa and Walter and it's going to be a great match. That's it. That's all the investment that we have. There's no story. There's no logic. This match just got thrown together because A, it's a big match, it's a takeover-worthy match, and they need to fill out 2 nights of TakeOver. Again, I'm not discrediting either man, but in terms of TakeOver standards, there's been no build, there's been no investment, and all we have to base this match on is Ciampa and Walter, NXT UK title. It's going to be a Match of the Year candidate. That's pretty much it. Now, I'm very happy that Tommaso Ciampa is doing something more important. Don't get me wrong. I'm very, very happy Tommaso Ciampa is doing something more important because this is on Ciampa's level. Walter in the UK title, that's absolutely on Ciampa's level, but they've done nothing to make people care. And I have a feeling that this is just going to be another match where Walter's going to win. And many people do not know this, but for those of you that watch NXT UK, NXT UK Prelude is taking place the night after, or the day after NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver night number 1, where Walter's actually defending the title against Rampage Brown. Now, I'm actually not sure if Walter's gonna retain or not. I think he is gonna retain. I don't see Rampage Brown winning the title, but Walter's got a heavy 2 nights of action ahead of him with NXT UK Prelude and NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver back-to-back title defenses. I think this is really going to do the NXT UK title good, and hopefully this will bring a little bit more eyes to NXT UK. But I don't see Walter losing that title to Ciampa, and I don't see Walter losing that title to Rampage Brown. If Rampage Brown does win, I'd be shocked. But I don't see Walter losing the title to Rampage Brown. I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa, and if any, to actually lose to Walter. I'm going with Tommaso Ciampa to lose to Walter. And if anything, I actually see this match being the match of the night for night number 1. If there's one match that I'm looking forward to the most, and a lot of people are actually very much intrigued in, myself included, it's Ciampa and Walter. I'm very, very intrigued to see what they are going to be able to produce. I think this is going to be the best match of night number 1, and I fully expect Walter to retain the NXT United Kingdom Championship going into his match with Rampage Brown tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, the following day at NXT UK TakeOver Prelude. Let me hear it.
This one's definitely an easy one for me. Walter definitely going to retain. I don't see why they would have Ciampa win the NXT UK title. It makes absolutely no sense. And you already hit the nail on the coffin as far as Ciampa pretty much just being there and being nothing but an enhancement at this point to enhance the NXT UK division and Walter. And that's all he is right now. I mean, it's like Ciampa right now just a plant in this case. And it's sad to see that because one of the greatest, if not the greatest, NXT champion ever as a heel goes. Like, he had one of the best. To me, Ciampa had the best run as NXT champion ever in NXT, as far as I'm concerned.
He had the best heel run. He had the best heel run, but in terms of the best NXT title reign, I think I'd have to give the edge to Adam Cole on that one.
Adam Cole? Okay, I got you on that. Okay. That makes sense, though. You know what I'm saying? He did have a good run, too. But I still like Ciampa's because of how it just felt so real, you know? It felt so real.
In terms of match quality, Adam Cole gets the edge. In terms of character work, Tommaso Ciampa gets the edge.
Perfect, bro. You said it best. but overall, it's sad to see Ciampa just come at a point in his career, and it happens to the most of them, the best of them. Like, it had a point where he just floating around limbo, and now he's right now just a plant to enhance the NXT UK division and Walter right now. And I feel like that just bull for Ciampa, for a guy like Ciampa. Like, I can't see how they can't find nothing for him on NXT, and you can clearly see it, clear as day. They put him with Timothy Thatcher for whatever reason that I still can't think of. Friends become enemies, and become friends? Bullshit. Nobody want to see Thatcher and Ciampa team up. I understand why they did it, because they need another team for the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic, but still, the team didn't really make sense to me. I just wasn't feeling that way. I didn't like it. So I'm glad that's finally over. And now here we
well, we don't know that it's finally over because Timothy Thatcher's been out. Here's a question that I was going to ask you. Does Timothy Thatcher join Imperium?
I wouldn't mind it, honestly. It actually fits him if you really think about it.
To be quite honest, that would probably like make me invested in Timothy Thatcher because realistically, Timothy Thatcher, he's really not much of anything. He's a great wrestler, but he's fucking boring.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if they put him at least with something that's like more meaningful, and that's another thing I want to ask you, bro. Like, you feel like Imperium right now with Walter is now back to where they need to be, but at the same time, they got to like really like put them back where they were. I feel like right now they're just like trying to find their way, and hopefully adding Timothy Thatcher can somewhat enhance that. But right now, I don't know, bro. I mean, that's what I'm gonna ask you. Like, do you feel like Timothy Thatcher being with Imperium can enhance the group and make them feel more important? What I'm trying to ask.
I don't think so, to be quite honest with you. If I'm going to be quite honest, the one thing that can make Imperium feel more important is if Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner go to NXT UK and win the NXT UK tag team titles.
Right.
That's the only, because that's what I thought was going to happen. That's what I thought was going to happen this year. Because last year they were shafted because of COVID. It was going to be Imperium taking the titles off of Gallus, but that didn't happen because of COVID. And then Imperium were here in NXT US, and then they had Pretty Deadly take the titles off of Gallus in the UK. So, realistically speaking, I really don't know what is going to make Imperium feel legitimate. But Imperium, they're definitely a tag team that can help enhance the NXT tag team division. I do think that Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner are fantastic at what they do. As far as Walter goes,
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to take that title off of Walter. I think it could very well be Ilya Dragunov. They're starting to rebuild him back up. He's on like a 5-match, 6-match winning streak in NXT UK. So hopefully they continue to build him up. And I can definitely see Ilya Dragunov potentially becoming the #1 contender for Walter again. And I can definitely see Ilya Dragunov potentially taking that title off of Walter. He's definitely my #1 pick. But Walter, I see him retaining here against Ciampa, and I definitely see this being the match of the night for night #1. Do you see this being the match of the night, or do you think another match is going to outshine Ciampa and Walter?
It's a tough one because, well, honestly, I really don't know, like, the lineup for, like, who's in night 1 or who's in night 2.
Oh, I do. They announced it.
Tough.
No, what I'm saying for you right now, for night #1, is what's on night 1. It's MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, Legado del Fantasma, Ciampa, Walter, Dunn and Kushida, the Gauntlet Eliminator, and then Io and Raquel.
Oh, pause right there. I gotta go with Pete Dunne and Kushida, bro. I mean, that's gonna be the best match of night one.
So, speaking of that, we're actually going to talk about that next.
Okay.
So, we are Walter across the board here to retain the UK Championship here against Tommaso Ciampa, Mr. Blackheart. Now we got Pete Dunne and Kushida. There's really nothing to say about this match. This match was pretty much made within a week because they had a little back and forth in the Gauntlet Eliminator on NXT this past Wednesday on the USA Network. They eliminated each other, and they were not a part of the last 6, so they will not be fighting for a chance at the North American title, which I was not expecting. Yeah, I was not expecting Kushida or Dunne to be fighting for the North American title or a chance at the North American title, but this match really is not much of anything. This is just a match that was made to, again, fill out a spot for the 2 nights, because they need matches for a 2-night takeover. I do expect this to be a great match. It's going to be a great match, but again, there's just no fucking investment. I just don't care, dude. Now, as far as the winner goes, I see Pete Dunne winning this, and I'll tell you why. I see Pete Dunne winning this because I think that they might be positioning Pete Dunne to potentially become NXT champion by the end of the year. And I'm going to get into who he takes the title off of when we get to Night 2. Because Night 2, we have the top 2 big matches that everyone's going to be talking about, and that's Balor Cross and O'Reilly Cole. So we're going to talk about that, but Pete Dunne is definitely someone that I can see WWE positioning to win the NXT title towards the end of the year. He is not even 30 years old. He's going to be spending plenty more time in NXT. He's absolutely going to be an NXT champion before he gets called up. There's no reason for Pete Dunne to be on the main roster now. I can absolutely see Pete Dunne becoming NXT champion by the end of the year. I don't know where Kushida goes. I can potentially see Kushida as a guy that takes the title off of Jordan Devlin. If they weren't going to give him the North American title, then I can definitely see WWE giving Kushida the NXT Cruiserweight title sometime after TakeOver Stand and Deliver, no matter who wins it, whether it be Santos Escobar or Jordan Devlin, which we'll talk about that when we get to night number 2. But I'm going with Pete Dunne to defeat Kushida here, and Pete Dunne will be positioned for a future NXT title reign towards the end of 2021. Mr. TM161, what you got for me?
Well, let me start by saying this. Let me talk about each number first, and then I'll give you my outcome of the match. I'm going to start with Kushida first, because I'm feeling like with Kushida right now, for me, I don't know, bro. It is really confusing for me, and it's even hard to explain why it's confusing, because I'm trying to figure out who Kushida really is right now. I'm at limbo with Kushida, because it's like he's a great in-ring worker. Definitely can give you a 5-star match in his sleep, yes. But right now I'm feeling like the guy is just bland as can be, bro. I just gotta give you that right now, bro. It's I don't know what it is, but it came to the same point with Bianca when she was in NXT. It was at a point in her career where I'm sitting there like, who is Bianca Belair to me? And I'm trying to figure that out. And then she finally found her way. And I feel like that's what Kushida is right now. Like, he changed his gimmick and everything. And it worked for him. But now he's back at that place where I'm sitting here looking at this guy. I'm like, who is Kushida? Like, great in-ring worker, all that good stuff. But at the same time, cannot figure him out. Now, as far as him winning the Cruiserweight title, I can definitely see that, him beating Jordan Devlin. I can definitely see that. Now, as far as Pete Dunne, my next guy, this is one of my guys right here. Top 5 favorite wrestlers in all wrestling. No question. I love Pete Dunne. Absolutely love Pete Dunne. And you know what? Him winning the NXT Championship in the future, sign me up, because I'm with it. I'm 100% with it. I wouldn't mind it. And not going to say he's going to beat, because we haven't talked about the match yet with Cross and Balor yet. But I can definitely see Pete Dunne winning the NXT Championship. I'm all for that. Now, as far as this match go, there's really no bill. There's really no sense going over it overall. So I'm just going to say Pete Dunne's going to win, because I just don't see Kushida honestly winning this match, because, like I said, he's just in limbo. Like, who was Kushida? You know, I just cannot figure the guy out.
This match was mainly made because Pete Dunne was saying that he's the best technical wrestler in the world, and in comes Kushida. So now Pete Dunne has a chance to prove it. That's essentially the story. It's very, very simple, very, very lackadaisical, very, very lazy. It's just very That in terms of the build, the match is TakeOver worthy. I mean, I take Pete Dunne and Kushida wrestling for fucking 2 hours over the entire WrestleMania card. But again,
match of the night. Like top match in night one. Definitely my top match in night one.
So we're Pete Dunne across the board here. Let's talk about the Gauntlet Eliminator match. It is Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed versus TM's favorite wrestler, Cameron Grimes.
Oh my God, bro!
You knew I was gonna do it. You knew I was gonna do it.
No.
Because I'm going straight to the moon.
And you know what? He can stay in that bitch.
And you can kiss my grits.
He can stay his ass in the moon.
So, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and L.A. Knight. This is a 6-man gauntlet eliminator match to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT North American Championship on night number 2. And again, once again, we have yet another match that should not be taking place on TakeOver. Main roster booking right here. Completely lazy. And, most of all, it's nonsensical. And I'll explain why. Dexter Lumis has been feuding with Gargano and The Way since the start of the year. Okay? Gargano and The Way have been feuding with Lumis since the start of the year. Lumis defeated Austin Theory, and not only that, he made Gargano, the NXT North American Champion, pass out in a non-title match, which I'm still a little iffy about because, again, the champion should not be losing in non-title matches, but I appreciate that they protected Johnny Gargano. He wasn't pinned, and he didn't tap. He passed out, so I appreciate that they protected him, but still. Lumis defeated Gargano in a non-title match. He defeated Theory, and he's been feuding with The Way ever since the year began. Why do we need a Gauntlet Eliminator match with 5 other men who have realistically done nothing? Maybe Bronson Reed, maybe Cameron Grimes. They have cases in which, yeah, they could be challenging because Bronson Reed, he's been on a winning streak. He's been gaining a lot of wins since the start of the year. Maybe Cameron Grimes, because he was on a winning streak. He beat Bronson Reed. He beat Roderick Strong, former North American champion. So maybe they have some cases, but Leon Ruff, the fuck's he been doing? Isaiah Swerve Scott's been on a losing streak. LA Knight has had 2 fucking matches in NXT, and he's already in a number 1 contenders match? What fucking sense does this make? And on top of that, it's incredibly predictable. You were better off just booking Gargano and Lumis at the TakeOver right from the start. And on top of that, here's a question. What happens if Lumis doesn't win? What happens if Lumis doesn't win? Are you going to give the championship to fucking Bronson Reed? You're going to give it to fucking Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, just out of random? And if Lumis does win, what was the fucking point of the match? Why didn't you just book the match to begin with? Why didn't you just book Lumis and Gargano from the start? Again, another scenario in which they're just throwing matches on the TakeOver. Realistically speaking, I can pick out 4 matches that realistically should not be on the show. You could have easily done, again, I'm going to say it again, you could have done NXT on Tuesdays, the first episode taking place on April 6th. You could have built a 4-match show over 2 hours, make it a big deal if you weren't going to have a TakeOver as a standalone event on a Saturday or a Sunday because of the 2-night WrestleMania. Then you could have built towards a May TakeOver, and you could have had a much better layout, much better build for all the matches. Half of these matches barely have any fucking build. I'm even going to say it right now. The build towards Shirai and Gonzales hasn't even been that good. And I'm actually invested in that match. That's actually one of the matches that I give a shit about. I actually care about that match, but the build's been terrible. Because Io Shirai just came up and said, "Oh, I want you next." And Raquel and Kai, they just lost the fucking tag team titles to Shotzi and Ember. And here's Raquel Gonzales getting another championship opportunity after she just lost a championship. It makes no fucking sense. But yeah, this Gauntlet Eliminator makes absolutely no fucking sense. They should have just done Loomis and...
I got something for that one.
What we got? Let me hear it.
Bro, let me say this. You remember, let's take a down bad memory lane right quick. You remember when Raquel, who did Raquel pin in that War Games match?
Io Shirai,
right? So, my thing is this. Usually they'll do it like this. If you pin the champion, shouldn't that person be in the front of the line to go after the champion?
You know what? Here's what I read. I read Brian Alvarez stating that months ago Raquel was the woman to beat Shirai. And I do believe, here's the thing, dude. I do believe that they were going to do that. But here's what happened. Then Triple H came up with the idea of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And thus, he was pretty much backed into a corner. So what happened was he had Raquel and Dakota Kai win, as they should have, and literally he just threw in Mercedes Martinez and Toni Storm, and don't get me wrong, I love both of those women, but they did nothing to deserve a shot at Io Shirai. And then, I guarantee you, he had every intention of giving the title to Toni Storm, but Vince McMahon did not allow Raquel and Kai to walk out with the women's tag team titles. Thus, he created the NXT women's tag team titles, and he needed to take the titles off of Raquel and Kai because outside of Toni Storm, Raquel Gonzales was the only other fucking contender that would have made sense against Io Shirai. And let me tell you something. I love the NXT women's division. It's the best women's division in the world. But my God, the booking of the division since the start of the year has been one big convoluted fucking mess, dude.
I agree 100%.
But we'll talk about that when we get to Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzales. Now, onto the Gauntlet Eliminator match. Dexter Lumis wins. Lumis wins, faces Gargano on night 2. That's literally the only logical route.
That is the only logical route right now. And let me go over these contestants, bro, because I got something to say about, let's see, who is this? Leon Ruff, Isaiah, Bronson Reed, Kevin Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and LA Knight.
Yes.
I got something to say about, it's like 4 of these names, bro. 4. Let me start with Leon Ruff for one. What in the hell did he do to be in this match, bro? Nothing. You mentioned already about Isaiah. The guy's been losing constantly. He recently turned heel and went nowhere. 3, Bronson Reed. Yes, I understand what you're trying to do, Bronson Reed. I understand you're trying to build him up or whatever, but the guy has not done nothing. And I feel like still, nobody is invested in Bronson Reed as much as they want us to be. Now, LA Knight, the guy only been there for like 5 minutes. Already getting an opportunity for the gold. I'm feeling like with these 4, no, that's 3. I'm feeling like with 3 guys. I'm gonna mention the last one next. I'm mentioning with these 3 guys right here, LA Knight, Leon Ruff, and Isaiah Spurs Scott. I'm feeling like they're only in the match. They did this whole entire thing, I felt like, to pretty much try to get us to believe in some of these guys. Because you know what? I did it with the 4th guy I'm about to mention to you, Cameron Grimes. Remember that ladder match that we talked about all that the months ago, bro?
Yeah.
When Cameron Grimes was in that match, and you told me to watch Cameron Grimes, he's gonna shine. And what happened, bro? The guy absolutely killed it, and I told you on that day, I'm like, bro, I'm a believer in Cameron Grimes from here on out. And I still am, kind of. But he's still annoying to me. He can stay his ass on the moon, okay? He can still stay his ass on the moon, get some pancakes, get the bacon, get the eggs, whatever you want to do, get the champagne glass, get the fast cars, whatever you want to do. Take his ass, keep his ass in that moon. But he still earned my respect, though. But I'm like
keep his ass in that moon. That's a new t-shirt right there, bro.
But I feel like with all these guys, bro, I feel like they only did this match to try and enhance these guys, get them over with the fans as much as they can to make them shine in this match. The same way they did with me as far as Cameron Grimes go. And But the obviously gotta be Dexter Lumis. Like, he the only one that makes sense. We even wanted him to win the championship even back then. Once again, back in that ladder match when Damian Priest won, when Dexter Lumis got hurt. Everybody was saying, Dexter Lumis, he should be the one. But then he got hurt. The next thing you know, here comes Damian Priest. Everybody saying, oh, Damian Priest should win, and he won. So we're at that same way again, bro, with Dexter Lumis, not even hurt this time, in this match. And he is the obvious choice. Once again, they have to go with Dexter Lumis. He the only one been feeling with the way. He the only one that makes sense in this scenario. You gotta go with him to win this match. Go up against Gargano on night 2. Boom.
Simple as that, man. We are Dexter Lumis across the board here. Now, we touched a little bit on the NXT Women's Championship match. It is Io Shirai defending against Raquel Gonzales. I know that TM is the biggest fucking Io Shirai mark in the community.
You already know.
Yeah, you already know. I know. I do my research. I see your tweets.
Sir.
I see your tweets, you sly dog. Anyway, again, the women's division in NXT, it's the best women's division in the world, but the booking and the production of the women's division ever since the start of the year, it's been one big clusterfuck. Some of that has to do with Vince McMahon. Some of that has to do with Triple H and the introduction of the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But as far as this match goes, I am very intrigued in this match. This is probably if I'm going to say, this is probably in the top 5 matches that I'm actually invested in. It's in the top 5 that I'm actually invested in. I'm invested in this more than I am Pete Dunne and Kushida and the Gauntlet Eliminator and the Tag Team title match. So, as far as this goes, I'm very interested to see what Raquel can do in a championship match, singular championship match on her own with someone like an Io Shirai. Raquel Gonzales, let me tell you something. Raquel Gonzales has definitely come a long way. I looked at her as the female Braun Strowman when she first came around. Now she is perhaps one of my favorite women in all of WWE. And that's saying something. Not named Sasha Banks or Bianca Belair or Bayley, which obviously, they're in a league of their own. But Raquel Gonzales, she's definitely coming to her own. And I've been very, very impressed with how Raquel Gonzales has handled herself and how she has just grown over the course of the last year. And if I'm going to be quite honest with you, Raquel Gonzales absolutely, I can see becoming the new NXT Women's Champion because there's literally nobody left for Io Shirai unless they want to do Candice or Toni Storm again, which I don't see them doing, to be quite honest. I see Raquel Gonzales winning the championship, and I absolutely see Io Shirai going up to the main roster. I know you don't want to think about that, but Bianca Belair, she's going to need some challengers. And I can absolutely see Io Shirai as the woman to take the title off of Bianca Belair. If Io Shirai is not on the main roster and she is not positioned to win the Royal Rumble next year for the women, this company is obviously doing something wrong. But I can absolutely see Io Shirai going up to the main roster. And if I'm going to pick a show, I'm going with SmackDown, and I'm going with Io Shirai being positioned to win the Women's Royal Rumble of 2022. I can absolutely see her going into a feud with Sasha Banks as an undercard match on the SummerSlam 2021 show. As far as Raquel Gonzales goes, I do not know where she goes, to be quite honest with you. I don't know who they're going to line up for her. To be quite honest with you, I think it all depends on who wins the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match on night 2. Depending on who wins that, and that's pretty much going to be the deciding factor of who they line up for Raquel Gonzales. Unless they got Tegan Nox coming back. I'm not sure when Tegan Nox is coming back. She's been out since September, but I heard she's been doing okay. I heard she's been doing fairly okay, but I'm not sure when Tegan Nox is coming back. But Tegan Nox, I would not mind Tegan Nox as an opponent for Raquel Gonzales, but I actually feel as though it's either going to be Shotzi or Ember Moon that's going to be built up as one of the first opponents for Raquel Gonzales after she wins the title. But I think that these two women are going to do an excellent job, and I absolutely see Raquel Gonzales taking that title, and Io Shirai is going to be main roster bound. What you got for me?
Well, my friend, we have been together the entire way, but today we're going a different route. we are going to go a different route here, bro. Let me talk about Raquel Gonzales. You know how you just look inside for dirt and then just magically you just find like a big ass diamond, bro. Crystal clear, looks so damn good. That has been Raquel Gonzales for me, personally. It's like she's been deep in the dirt and we just kept digging and digging and digging and then we just found a good ass looking diamond, bro. I have been very, very impressed with Raquel Gonzales as of late. And still am. And I definitely became a big fan of hers, a big advocate of hers as of late. Even before she pinned Io Shirai at War Games. But this could be the case of Dakota. Not going to say she's going to, but I can see Dakota costing Raquel the match accidentally. Not saying it's going to happen, but it could happen. But either way, my pick is Io Shirai to retain because I'm feeling like, for some reason, I've been saying this for the longest time, and she might not even be ready for that role yet, but I'm feeling like they are going to do it, bro. I'm just going to just throw a dart at the board and see if I hit a bullseye with this. I'm feeling like Xia Li is going to be the one to take it from Io Shirai. Once Io get past Raquel, you mentioned there's nobody left. That's how Io probably going to feel at that point. It's going to be nobody left. The next thing you know, you're going to just see Xia Li just show up right there. And then, boom, we got that match coming next. And I guarantee when that happens, just know that's going to be the moment when Io Shirai about to finally lose the championship. So I'm feeling like she's going to retain against Raquel. Then after that, Raquel and Dakota might officially be over after that. I don't know where they go with either women. Probably Dakota might go to the main roster for all we know, but probably won't because I'm feeling like Team Kick still got one last job to finish with, Tegan Knox and Dakota, that dream of having them both hold the tag team gold. I personally want that, but another story for another day. So I got Io Shirai retaining, and I'm going to just predict that Xia Li is going to be the next in line afterwards to go up against Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. Boom.
I do want to believe that, but I don't know. I haven't really seen enough of Xia Li to determine whether or not she's ready for that position. Because I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in that long-winded match in which, oh my god, this is a great match. That's pretty much going to be the deciding factor, whether or not she can put on a great, extended women's championship match with someone of Io Shirai's caliber. But I really don't see it. I really don't see Xia Li is ready. That's why I'm saying Raquel Gonzales. I mean, what's left for Io Shirai to do?
She might not be ready.
What's left for Raquel Gonzales is actually head of Xia Li.
Oh, that's no question. I'm not just agreeing with you on that. I'm just going with my gut on this. This is that one of those little feelings that I just got, bro. I could be wrong on it, but I just got this funny feeling.
I had a feeling you were going to say that just because of how much you love Io Shirai, but we'll move on to that one. We are actually differing on this one. He's got Io Shirai, while I have Raquel Gonzales becoming the new champion. So, let's move on to night number 2. Night number 2, I do not know what they're going to kick it off with, but I have a feeling they may kick it off with the ladder match. And that's between Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin, ladder match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. You had a feeling that this match may have been coming, we just didn't know when. So the travel ban finally got lifted for Jordan Devlin, and now we got Escobar and Devlin ladder match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship unification. And you know for a fact that Shawn Michaels is going to have a hefty hand in this. This is probably the third match. Yeah, I would say the third match that I'm looking forward to the most. This is the third match that I'm looking forward to the most just because of how great Jordan Devlin is. Jordan Devlin, he is absolutely what he says he is. He is the Irish Ace. He is one of the best wrestlers right now. He may be ahead of Finn Balor. That's how good he is. In terms of in-ring work, I'd take Jordan Devlin over Finn Balor, to be quite honest with you, because Jordan Devlin, he is fucking great. He is fucking fantastic. I fucking love what Jordan Devlin is able to do. Now, Santos Escobar, he is fantastic at what he does in his own right. He always puts on quality matches. He has put on a quality NXT Cruiserweight Championship match every single time he defends the championship. They've made the Cruiserweight title feel a little bit more important, minus that fucking blip that we had with Santos Escobar and Karrion Kross, which I don't fucking understand why they even did that match. Very good match, but completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. And it really made Legado del Fantasma look weak. But we're getting this ladder match, and I think that these two are going to absolutely steal the fucking show. This is absolutely going to be the match of the night for night number 2. If these guys go out there and they just absolutely are let off the chain, they're going to blow everyone's expectations away. Night 2, for those of you who do not know, night 2 is actually on Peacock. Night 1 is on the WWE USA Network. Night 2 is on Peacock, and I can see this match kicking off the show. Jordan Devlin, I fully expect Jordan Devlin to win. I do not expect Santos Escobar to win this because I have gotten the vibe that Michaels and Triple H, the NXT creative team, they love Jordan Devlin. They're the one that gave him. They're the ones that gave him the NXT Cruiserweight title all the way back at the beginning of 2020, and that was actually after Garza just won the title. So that right there, that's actually pretty fucking huge. If you gave Devlin the title literally just a month after Garza won the title. So I think that Jordan Devlin abso-fucking-lutely is going to take the win on this. And I can absolutely see Devlin being built up as this unstoppable cruiserweight, fighting on both shows, whether it be NXT UK or NXT US. And then I can absolutely see Kushida getting the opportunity against Jordan Devlin, and Kushida potentially winning the NXT Cruiserweight title, whether it be at the next TakeOver in June or the TakeOver before SummerSlam. I absolutely see Kushida as the man to take the title off of Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin's going to win this championship right here. Jordan Devlin is going to end Santos Escobar's Cruiserweight title reign, and he's going to continue his own over 400 days. So Jordan Devlin, much respect for Jordan Devlin. Even though there's an asterisk next to it because of COVID, Jordan Devlin is still an excellent performer. I think that these two are going to absolutely steal the show for night 2, and I see Jordan Devlin becoming the Cruiserweight champion, unifying both titles. What say you, TM?
Well, first let me start off by talking about Santos Escobar right quick, bro, because I hear that name and I just get sad, like very, very sad, because I said it so many times. When I saw him change and just had this completely different transformation to him, so I see that Santos Escobar like a couple of months ago, I saw money, bro. Now I look at him, I see fake money. And you know why? Because creative strikes again. They made this man reign felt so unimportant. They destroyed his reign. It's almost like I just want him to just win this match with so simple fact that they can fix it. But I feel like right now it's too little too late. It's too little too late.
He hasn't had a bad... His reign hasn't necessarily been bad. The matches that he has are quality, and he's had it for a nice amount of time. The problem is that they just haven't spotlighted it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Like, don't get me wrong, his match has been great, but they made it felt so unimportant. They didn't make him stand out, and I see nothing but money in this deal, and then they haven't treated it as such. That's my only issue with it. That's my biggest issue with it. If I mentioned just now, there's a part of me that wants me to see him retain the gold just so they can fix that with him. But I feel like now it's just too late. And you said it yourself with Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin is putting in that work. And I feel like it's definitely this man's time to just beat Santos Escobar, just end the misery right now, have him go on to go and be Cruiserweight champion, and you might get that match with Kushida down the line. I'm all for that. I will not mind that. But the question is, what do you do with Santos after that? Like, do he just, like, flow around in limbo, just go face guys like Isaiah Swerve Scott and guys like Jake Atlas and stuff like that?
Well,
like,
I have a theory. Isaiah Swerve Scott, he said that he wants to move up into the North American Championship title picture, which he has now. I can see Escobar following in those footsteps, and we could potentially see Escobar as a potential challenger for a new North American champion, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely all for that. And it's like right now, I feel like you just have to have Jordan Devlin just be Santos Escobar, just end the misery for me, because I hope for something more. We never got it. Now let's end it. So I say Jordan Devlin will definitely win on this night. I might be being biased with it, but I really don't care.
Well, in terms of in-ring work, I'm giving the edge to Jordan Devlin.
Right.
So I'm going with Devlin to win this match. And now, do you see this being the show stealer for night number 2?
The only match that can top this is Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. But I feel like it's going to be a great match. But I don't think it's going to be as good as this one. So I would say this match probably is going to be the match for night 2.
Yeah. So we are Jordan Devlin across the board there. Well, we're Jordan Devlin across the board there, and we both believe that this is going to be the match of the night. Next, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon taking on The Way, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell for the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. Another match thrown together, does not need to be on the show, but it's a 2-night takeover, so they need to get every single possible big-time matchup on the show, regardless of how shitty the build has been. The NXT Women's Tag Team titles, even more worthless than before. Those titles were worthless on night 1. Made absolutely no sense to introduce them. I legitimately don't care. We're in the same boat with the NXT Women's Tag Team titles as we are with the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on Fox. I don't give a shit about this match. It should be a decent match, but we've seen this match numerous amounts of times. If I'm going to go with a match to be the weakest match on the show, it's going to be this match. This match absolutely is going to be the weakest match on the show. I do not see this match shining at all. I see this match being an interim match, almost a piss break match. Should be decent, but I really don't see any reason why we should be investing in this match. And to be quite honest with you, since Raquel needs challengers, unless Tegan Nox comes back, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon are legitimately the only fucking baby faces in the NXT Women's Division as we speak. So I really don't see any other challenger for Raquel Gonzales, unless they do a rematch with Io Shirai. They could do a rematch with Io Shirai, and then after that, you could have Shotzi and Ember lose the titles, but who do you lose them to? Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are legitimately the only other team left.
Who do you think?
I don't know, dude. I really don't know. To be quite honest with you, I see Candice and Indy winning this. Thus, further...
Really?
Yeah, I see Candice and Indy winning the titles here. Indy Hartwell's slowly growing on me. She was terrible at first, but she's slowly coming along. Slowly. And that has to do with the fact that she is working with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, two of the best wrestlers, period, in NXT. So, props to Indy Hartwell for coming along. I see Candice and Indy winning, and I see Shotzi and or Ember being built up as one of the potential challengers for Raquel Gonzales. Maybe they have Shotzi as the conquering hero, because you know that Triple H loves Shotzi. I can absolutely see Raquel Gonzales dropping that title to Shotzi down the line.
But see, it's funny that you saying it that way, because I see a whole other way. Because I'm saying like this. I'm saying Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart winning, but then everybody want Candice to finally become NXT Women's Champion. So if I'm wrong about Xia Li, what if they have Candice go after Io, then she finally get that big win over Io, win the championship, and then Io moves to the main roster?
That's a possibility, but then it begs the question, what do you do with Indy?
Sure. I guess Indy could just be there to be a cheerleader for Candice, you know?
I mean, yeah, you're right, but I can see that she's slowly starting to come along. Now, that doesn't mean I'm an Indy Hartwell fan, but I'm all for someone evolving and coming along and really coming up through the rankings. And I do want to see Indy Hartwell get better. And I feel as though this may be their route to giving Indy Hartwell a big opportunity and a tag team title reign with Candice LeRae, if you know what I'm saying.
But see, they could also do it like this. What if Indy Hartwell is being behind Candice the whole time, and then Candice finally dumps her, and then we want to see Indy Hartwell shine, and then go after Candice for the NXT Women's title?
I don't know, to be quite honest with you, but I really do not see Io, nor do I see Shotzi and Ember Moon retaining. I see both of the women's championships changing hands on NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver on their respective nights. And I see Candice and Indy winning the titles, and I can absolutely see Ember Moon being built up as a potential challenger for Raquel Gonzales before she eventually drops that title to Shotzi Blackheart. Hopefully we get Tegan Nox coming back, because I'm very, very, very much interested in seeing Tegan Nox finally coming back and potentially getting her moment in an NXT women's title match against Raquel Gonzales, kind of that underdog David and Goliath dynamic. She's not going to win the title. I don't expect her to win. I don't expect her to win, but I do want to sense what they can do. I want to see what they can produce.
But see, that's another thing too. Tegan Nox come back, Candice LeRae the champion. They got history. Why not go with that?
They could potentially do that's the one thing that we have right here. It's a lot of unpredictability. To a certain extent, I want to look at that as a good thing, but I don't know. Everything's just a big question mark. Some of it good, some of it bad. We'll have to wait and see how everything turns out.
It's a lot of different routes they can take it, bro. It's going to go about who retains. That's what makes this match so great now for us both, because like I said, I'm picking Io, you're picking Raquel. So it's like, once that happens, what's next? You know what I mean?
Oh no, absolutely. So who are you picking here? Are you going with the champs to retain?
I'm going to retain.
I'm going with a title change. We got a lot of warfare here. We have at least 3 different predictions. We got a lot of warfare here.
And both of the women's matches. That's what's funny.
That's what's funny. Both of the women's matches. Well, we're gonna move on to the.
Going different routes.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the NXT North American title match. Johnny Gargano taking on the winner of the Gauntlet Eliminator, which we picked to be Dexter Lumis. So Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis for the NXT North American title. There's really nothing more to say about this. This storyline has been built up over the course of the entire year. I fucking hate the way that they have been making the Way look. I have fucking hated how they've been making Austin Theory look like a complete fucking idiot. I hated the therapy session. Gargano's fantastic. Gargano's hilarious, but I just hate that fucking main roster comedy therapy segment. And it really just doesn't belong in NXT. So the storyline really isn't all that exciting. I think the match is going to be very good. Dexter Lumis, it's definitely going to be a big opportunity for Dexter Lumis. The match that he had with Cameron Grimes back at NXT TakeOver War Games in that strap match, that was very good. I expect him to put on another great match with Johnny Gargano here. I don't know if it's going to be better than the one with Kushida. I don't think it is, because the one with Kushida was a fucking match. That was probably the match of the year for WWE. That was rated 4.75 out of 5 stars. So that was a damn near perfect match. I would absolutely give that the edge to Kushida and Gargano there, but I do think that Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano, it's going to be a very good match. And I do see Dexter Lumis winning the title. You're not going to have Dexter Lumis win the Gauntlet Eliminator just to lose. You haven't built up Dexter Lumis all this time just to lose. You already dropped the ball with Kushida. He should have won at TakeOver Vengeance Day, to be quite honest. So you dropped the fucking ball with Kushida. You can't fucking drop the ball with Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis has had trials and tribulations. He had an ankle injury. He had a feud with Cameron Grimes. And now he's finally in a North American Championship title picture. Now's the time to do it. You pulled the trigger on Dexter Lumis. Gargano never really needed the North American title, but you gave it to him anyway. Now it's time to give Dexter Lumis his moment. You give Dexter Lumis the North American title.
I am with you, bro, 100%. As far as Dexter Lumis goes, it's his time. There's no other route out of this. And let's say even if they don't have him win, what would you do with Dexter Lumis then? That is the big, huge question mark. It's like at that point, it don't even matter anymore. So you just have to have this man win that championship from Gargano. Now, I did pick Gargano to retain against Kushida, even though I wouldn't mind Kushida beating Gargano. But Lumis is a different story. It's like he can't lose. Like we already said with Kushida is more likely going to become Cruiserweight champion at probably the end of the year. But with Dexter Lumis, it's like, where does he actually go after this? Like it's like it's endless to even like think about. He has to win the gold. It's no other route. It's no other route. You gotta have won the championship here and now against Johnny Gargano. Gargano's gonna be all right. He's been multi-champion. He more likely I can honestly see him probably going to the main roster, but highly doubt it because of Kansas. But
yeah, he's not going to the main roster. He says he wants to stay in NXT for life. He's not going to be going to the main roster. But in terms of a long-term booking, I don't really know where he goes, but I really do not see Johnny Gargano going up to the main roster. There's no reason for Gargano to go up to the main roster. There's no reason for him to be on the main roster. And he said he wanted to stay in NXT for as long as possible. So you know that Triple H, and considering that Johnny Gargano is one of Triple H's boys, you know for a fact that Triple H is going to do everything in his power to make sure that Johnny Gargano does not go up to the main roster, because you take a look at everyone that's fucking gone up through the rankings, and there's only been about 10 individuals out of maybe 150 call-ups that have actually gone on to have lucrative careers. I mean, look at what fucking happened with Andrade. Like, Andrade couldn't even marry his way into success.
Right, ain't that funny?
He couldn't even fucking marry his way into success. He was facing fucking...
It still couldn't do nothing with it.
I mean, come on. If that does not indicate that unless you look like Karrion Kross, there's no reason to sign with the WWE, I don't know what does.
It's sad, man.
But yeah, Dexter Lumis, you give him the title. There's no reason
why. One thing about Gargano I will say, though, is that if he does lose this match, which he should, I can definitely see him in theory probably running around the tag team division for a little bit, possibly.
That I would not mind. That's actually a good route to go. You have Gargano in there to help enhance Theory.
Right. Or you could just have him go back with Ciampa. That's another route.
I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think that Ciampa's going to... Yeah, I think that Ciampa's actually going to be on his own, and I think that Ciampa could potentially be built up as a contender for the NXT title.
I guess, well, we ain't going to talk about it yet. Not yet.
Well, we're going to talk about that next, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next, because apparently Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, unsanctioned match, that's the main event of TakeOver Night 2, which I cannot fucking stand. It's absolutely... There's a difference between when NXT does it and when AEW does it. AEW has put an emphasis on unsanctioned matches, and they put an emphasis on records, they put an emphasis on wins and losses, but in WWE, it's like wins and losses don't even matter. They don't keep track of records. So, when has an unsanctioned match all of a sudden been made to be more important than the fucking world title? I don't give a shit how bad the story has been. I don't give a shit how bad the build has been. The world title is the whole entire reason of why people are coming to said specific brand, to said specific show, to said specific company. If it's not going to be the number one reason, then why do you even bother showcasing it? World title's main event the show no matter what. That's the whole reason why everyone's on the show. Everyone who's in the main event and it's not for a world title, that's pretty much just saying that, oh yeah, anyone can be in the main event. If you want to have a tag team match or a women's match main event the show, fine. That's a one-time deal, but you got to make it feel important. You got to make it feel like it should be main eventing. That's fine, but a fucking unsanctioned match with nothing on the line, which more likely than not is going to be a one-and-done situation, because I do not see Adam Cole sticking around in NXT after this match. But we'll talk about Balor and Cross now. This is for the NXT Championship. We are Dexter Lumis across the board to beat Gargano. Balor and Cross hasn't really been too much of anything in terms of the build. The promos have been very good. Very interested to see what they do here. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, Karrion Kross is going to win. I don't see that happening, actually. I don't see Karrion Kross winning. I think that right now is actually the perfect opportunity to bring back the Demon. I think it's now the perfect opportunity to bring back the Demon King. And what I can see happening is the Demon King comes back because Karrion Kross is being rumored to be fast-tracked to the main roster. There's been numerous amounts of rumors that have come out since the beginning of the year that Karrion Kross is being fast-tracked. But he's got to finish up what he's doing in NXT first. Therefore, there's really nothing for him left to do should he lose this match. And Finn Balor, if he brings back the Demon, that could be a way to protect Karrion Kross in defeat. I can absolutely see Karrion Kross losing this match because Vince McMahon wants him on Monday Night Raw. Because Vince McMahon, he was solely responsible for Karrion Kross winning the NXT title in such quick fashion that he did last year. So I can absolutely see Karrion Kross losing this match, Balor bringing back the Demon, and Karrion Kross, if he's not WWE Champion by SummerSlam, I'd be shocked, to be quite honest with you. I think that Vince McMahon is going to absolutely fast-track this guy to the WWE title within 5 months. Because he looks at this guy and he gets a fucking erection. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Well, let me hear it.
But see, let me just say it right quick. It's funny how, this is what I like about you, bro. You hit me with some, like, straight up, like, information right there that I didn't even know. And now I'm just sitting here like, damn.
This is why I'm the best. There's a reason why I have the best right above my handle on Twitter. Because I am the #1 in the entire world. Nobody can touch me, dude. Nobody can.
But you see, it's like, bro, it's like now I'm sitting here like, okay. Well, they like, because honestly, I just can't see it happening, bro. I just can't see Karrion Kross losing. But the story that you just mentioned about him going to the main roster, I could definitely see it, bro. I can definitely
There's been report after report, dude. Vince McMahon was solely responsible for Karrion Kross winning the title in such quick fashion that he did. There's no way that you can justify Karrion Kross getting a title match after 5 months on NXT. You can't. That had
Right.
Vince McMahon written all over it. And then Karrion Kross got injured. Now he's back. And ever since the start of the year, you've been hearing numerous amounts of reports from everyone, whether it be Ringside News or PW Insider or Dave Meltzer. Karrion Kross is loved by Vince, and he wants him on the main roster. I can absolutely see Karrion Kross losing this match, but with Finn Balor bringing back the Demon, because he did mention the Demon, he did mention it on. He said I used to let my demons run free, but now I've learned to just turn my demons, my emotions off. But that right there, that could be a sign that he's going to bring back the Demon to try and mess with Karrion Kross. Demon versus Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross is going to lose to the Demon. And in a way that could protect Karrion Kross. Finn Balor is going to continue his NXT Championship reign, and Karrion Kross is going to go up to the main roster. Because if we got all these reports and Karrion Kross wins the title, then these reports will come out to be false. But I can absolutely see Kross losing.
Because here's my thing. Before you even mention like all of that, here's my thing. My prediction was Karrion Kross win this match, and then we get Finn Balor get his rematch as the Demon, and then he get the rematch, and then more than likely we get Finn Balor win the championship back from Karrion Kross, and then he goes up to the main roster. That was my thing. So Karrion Kross become a transitional champion, he get the championship back, and then he lose it. He rightfully lose it back to Finn Balor as the Demon, then he go to the main roster. That was my thing.
Flip-flopping the title, that's not very good, man. You don't do that.
They're going to do it, brother. They're going to flip-flop. That was my original prediction. They're going to flip-flop the title right here.
So that was your original prediction. What's your new prediction?
My new prediction? Finn Balor retain.
Yeah, that's exactly. My work here is done. My work here is done.
Because I can see Vince McMahon getting Karrion Kross to the main roster with Scarlett easily. He loved the blondes. He loved the big men. Boom. It's a win-win for him.
Exactly. I really just I can't see Karrion Kross sticking around in NXT very long if we've had all these reports coming around. Vince McMahon wants Karrion Kross on the main roster, and I guarantee Karrion Kross is going to be positioned to take the title off of Drew McIntyre when McIntyre eventually wins the title back from Lashley.
Yep, and that's what happened too, and that's another thing with Lashley. I mean, I know we're talking about that, but I want to say right now they killed the whole Hurt Business and Lashley.
That pissed me off, dude. That pissed me off.
That really pissed me off.
I'm glad I'm not doing an LFU tomorrow because I'm actually going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. I'm going down the shore tomorrow. No LFU tomorrow. No review for TakeOver or Stand and Deliver either. I'll be back on April 10th for the rundown.
Bro,
The very
vacation, bro.
yeah.
Like, bro, while you on vacation, don't think about no wrestling, no.
I'm gonna watch wrestling. I'm gonna watch wrestling though, but I'm not gonna be taking notes or whatever.
Like just relax yourself, bro.
You know it, bro. You know I'm gonna do that.
Hell yeah.
But
no wrestling that. Oh, none of that.
But what's your new prediction now? Is it Finn Balor retains? That's right.
I'll go. I gotta go. I'm gonna go. No, listen, matter of fact, I don't want to go with that route because I'm only doing that because of the information that you gave me. So I'm gonna stick with my original choice just to see if I'm gonna be right about this. I'm gonna stick with my original. But if Finn Balor win, I'm just gonna say, hey, bro, I knew you.
I was right.
Be right. Right.
Because when am I wrong? Here's something that people don't get. People, when it comes to DJ Storms, I'm never wrong. I may have a few blips in the road here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm never wrong. So please, y'all gotta make sure you get with the program. But I'm going with Finn Balor to retain. He's got Karrion Kross winning the title. Now we talk about the undeserved main event of Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. No matter if this has been the best built-up match towards TakeOver, no matter if this is a TakeOver-worthy match, unsanctioned match, no matter if this is the best match of the entire year for pro wrestling, this match should not be main eventing. It is not for the world title. But this is the unsanctioned match. This is the light version of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa for Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. And unfortunately, this is the only match that they will be having. And I'm going to explain why. There's literally nobody on the main roster worthy enough of challenging Drew McIntyre. So Karrion Kross, like I said, he's going to be one of them. Karrion Kross is going to be one man that they're going to put on Raw to fill some voids in the main event scene. The other man that they're going to put on Raw to help fill some voids is going to be Mr. Adam Cole. And I say that because I can see Kyle O'Reilly winning this, and at the next big show, probably the next TakeOver, maybe in June, I can see Kyle O'Reilly taking on Finn Balor. And we get Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Balor 3, and Kyle O'Reilly finally becomes the NXT champion. I have a feeling that they're going to be building up Kyle O'Reilly as the next top-tier babyface in the main event scene. And Kyle O'Reilly is going to have a nice, solid reign with the NXT championship going into the summer and into the fall. And in the fall, probably towards the winter season, probably in December, he drops to Pete Dunne. That's what I see happening. I really don't see things working out any other way. Kyle O'Reilly beats Adam Cole here. Going to be a great match. Great match. Not as good as Gargano Ciampa, obviously, but great match. Cole goes up to the main roster. I can absolutely see him. If he's not positioned to win the 2022 Men's Royal Rumble, they're fucking doing something wrong. They're really doing fucking something wrong. But Kyle O'Reilly, I can see him winning this match, and he's going to be positioned to be the next NXT champion. He's going to take it off of Finn Balor. Cole and Kross, they're going up to the main roster. Kyle O'Reilly is going to have a nice, solid reign with the NXT title. I can see him facing Ciampa at the SummerSlam TakeOver. I can see him potentially facing off against Johnny Gargano at the October TakeOver, and then the December TakeOver, I can see him dropping it to Mr. Pete Dunne. That's how I see things playing out for Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole after TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Final match for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, Mr. TM. What you got?
Well, let me say one thing, that when it comes to Kyle O'Reilly, I was wondering why they did Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly too. At the moment it happened, I was like, why not Pete Dunne immediately? But then we got it afterwards. Now I could definitely see, now that we got two, now I can see three definitely happening. Like I mentioned, Finn Balor retaining, I will not be shocked, because what we discussed about Karrion Kross and Vince McMahon and how he loved the big man, I totally get it. Definitely see that happening. But one thing for sure is that Kyle O'Reilly is definitely 100% going to win this match. And more than likely, definitely 100%, Adam Cole has done everything in NXT up to this point. He goes on to the main roster after this. I don't see him sticking around in NXT. Kind of like how what happened with Rhea Ripley when I thought she about to get called up, but she did get called up. He ain't doing none of that. After this, he's getting called up. This is definitely the end-all be-all match that should not be main eventing, only because it is not for any championship. The NXT championship, guys, listen, I understand you guys are hyped for the matchup. You guys are pretty much just sitting on that sweet old promo work between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole and the whole friendship thing. I get it. But the NXT title is the championship, is the match that must main event the show. Okay? Letting you guys know that, okay? I said, I understand you guys are into the match, but it should not be the main event. It should be at least main event night 1 or somewhere in the mixture night 2, at least. Now, obviously, Kyle O'Reilly is going to win. There's no reason to discuss it even further. Adam Cole goes to the main roster, potentially win the Royal Rumble. As you just mentioned, my man DJ, he could potentially win Money in the Bank too. I can definitely see that happening as well. Money in the Bank, keep that in mind. But Kyle O'Reilly gets the win. I could definitely see him facing Finn Balor, but I did pick Karrion Kross, so he could be fighting Karrion Kross too, as you mentioned it just now with I think you mentioned with Tegan Knox and Raquel Gonzales, David versus Goliath. You can see that happen with Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. Boom.
I don't think that they're going to do Kyle O'Reilly, to be quite honest with you, and Karrion Kross. I don't see that happening because they haven't really built up Kyle O'Reilly as that unstoppable underdog babyface, if you know what I'm talking about. Because Finn Balor, he has the credibility to be going up against Karrion Kross. Kyle O'Reilly really doesn't.
I said potential. I didn't say it's going to be next. I said potential.
Well, yeah, but realistically, if Karrion Kross wins the title, then you can't just have him drop it back to Finn Balor. Like that, you can't be doing no flip-flopping. Kyle O'Reilly, that would be interesting, but they haven't really built up Kyle O'Reilly enough for him to really stand any chance against Karrion Kross. That's why I said to do Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor, because they have the history, and it tells a better story.
Yeah. True.
But we're Kyle O'Reilly across the board here.
From the whole Balor thing. I'm sticking with my original prediction on that, but I still want to lean more towards on Finn Balor, though. I ain't going to lie to you.
I'm very persuasive, bro. I'm very, very persuasive when it comes to these topics. Aren't I? But anyway, I said I'm very, very persuasive when it comes to these topics.
Yeah, what kind of that, bro? You got me. I ain't going to front. You got me with that one.
But ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Subscribe to TM on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. No Lightning Flash update tomorrow. I will be down the shore on vacation. I will be tweeting along live for the wrestling shows next week, even though I will be down the shore, but I will not be taking notes. No LFU on April 10th as well. Instead, it's going to be a live edition of The Rundown with Indigo Unshiha. If you want to go follow him on Twitter, it's @LIndicud, @L_EL_in. Let me go look it up, just to clarify. Let me go look it up on Twitter, just to clarify. Where is he? Oh, look it up. Where is it? Here we go. LEL_INDICUD. Indigo Unshiha. He will be joining me for the very first time ever, for the very first ever live rundown for WrestleMania 37. That is going to be on April 10th, streaming live right here on YouTube at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. TM, excellent stuff. I greatly appreciate you coming on here. I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day, taking the time on my birthday, spending my birthday with me, talking NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Again, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your time. It means a lot to me,
bro. Thank you for having me on your show, bro. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, happy birthday, bro. Hopefully you enjoy your vacation. Make sure you relax, chill out, have a couple beverages on me. And also, guys in the chat, shout out to everybody in the chat. Daniel, I see you. What's up? You always here. Love you, girl. Also, make sure you guys do follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on notifications. As for tomorrow on Friday, we got a very special Roman Reigns skit coming to you guys Friday for on my channel. And Saturday, we also got another Roman Reigns video coming to you guys for Saturday. So I hope you guys be there and check that out. And DJ, once again, bro, thank you so very much for allowing me on your show, bro. I appreciate you, and hopefully we do this again, bro.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, Danielle, boom, you get the dab. You happy?
Yeah, you can't see me with that Danielle, but I'm hitting the dog.
He's in the dab. He's in the dab, too. Don't worry. Do not worry. But ladies and gentlemen, he's TM161. I'm DJ Storms, and this has been The Rundown. And we will catch you guys later.